Hi guys, so I went to a prenatal appointment today and I thought it might be a good idea to make a video about prenatal appointments and being pregnant in Japan. And going to my appointments is kind of a chore because the hospital I go to is in a different city, so I have to walk to the bus stop and then take a bus to the train station and then take a train to the city and then walk to the hospital. And then once I'm at the hospital, I don't actually have like an appointment time. They just tell me what day to go in. So I just have to go and show them my cards and stuff. And then they call me like when it's my turn. So I end up waiting around for a long time, like usually at least an hour. No, it's more than an hour because they call me in for an ultrasound first, and then they make me wait longer, and then I see the doctor. So, like this morning, I left at around noon, and I got back to my apartment at 4. So, the appointments always take at least like 4 or 5 hours of my day, and that kind of is not fun. But they kind of make up for it because, the prenatal appointments and the delivery cost isn't actually covered by regular insurance here, but they give you coupons to cover the costs of prenatal appointments. And I think it might differ city to city, but in my city, all of my prenatal appointments are free. I have coupons for every single one here. The only one we had to pay for, like the first 2 appointments, because I didn't have my residence card right away. I just came over on a tourist visa in the beginning, and so they don't give you the coupons until after you have your residence card. But they reimbursed me most of the money. They reimbursed me for everything except like 2,000 yen, which is around $20 to $25, give or take, depending on the current currency exchange. And even without the coupons, it was still really cheap compared to what I had to pay in America for my prenatal appointments. At my first appointment here, I had a physical exam, an ultrasound, and then like a consultation with the doctor. And in the United States, most insurances I think only cover like 1 ultrasound, maybe 2. I had 3 in the States before I moved here, which is more than some people because they ordered like a dating ultrasound because they weren't sure what my due date was. But here they do ultrasounds like at every single appointment. But in the United States, ultrasounds are expensive. Where I was from anyway, they were around $300 just for like the standard ultrasound. But my appointment that involved an ultrasound and all the other like regular doctor stuff only cost me 5,000 yen, which is way cheaper than it would have been in America. And then I was reimbursed for it anyway, so that's pretty awesome. And as far as delivery costs go, I hear that it is cheaper to deliver in Japan, and then what they also do is they reimburse you the money. I forgot what it's called right now, but you just apply for like this money, and I think it's based on your income, and then they'll give it to you after you have your baby. So that's pretty cool. I think there are a lot of incentives they give you when you have a baby in Japan because their growth population isn't very good right now. So they really want to encourage people to have kids. So I had to go to my appointment by myself today, and my last appointment, which was 2 weeks ago, was the first time I went by myself without my husband. And I was really nervous because the staff doesn't really speak English. Some of them know a little bit, but they're not proficient in the language. And my Japanese is not very good. But they've been really nice about everything. Like, they try to speak as much English as they can, and then so it kind of ends up being like a mixture between Japanese and English and hand gestures. And so it's kind of funny because the last time I went in, they had prepared some papers for me that I needed to look through, and I think they must have used something like Google Translate to write some English out, but Mike and I thought this was kind of funny. They drew little pictures here, and it says, "Let's relax during a delivery. It breathes out when there is labor pains. You and your baby will become comfortable if power can be extracted and relaxed." So, that's kind of funny little pictures. And then they had like this sheet for me to fill out about like a birth plan. And the first question they wrote in English, "When it became pregnant, what kind of feeling was it?" The next question says, "What do you think about the image of childbirth becomes a mother?" Let's see. Something to tell first when a baby is born? What kind of mother would you like to become? That one's actually pretty good. What do you think about giving a baby mother's milk? We let you the merit of mother's milk know, and we think that he also wants your baby to drink mother's milk. Okay then. Let's see. Is there something to hear about a delivery or hospitalization? And then the last one is the message to a baby, and they drew a little heart by it. So I had to have Mike translate the Japanese a little better, but I pretty much got the gist of what they were saying, but it was just kind of funny how they worded things. So the actual questions, when translated more correctly, were like, when you became pregnant, how did you feel? What image do you have of becoming a mother and giving birth? Did you do anything to have a healthy baby for the birth and for the birth to go smoothly? What word do you want to tell your baby when it's born? What kind of mother do you want to be? And also, when you found out you would start a new family, how did you talk to them about it? What do you think about breastfeeding? Are there any questions you have for the staff? And what message do you want to give to your baby in your stomach? So I think that's pretty much all I have to say right now. I'm gonna probably make a more structured video about like the process of registering your birth and what materials they give to you and everything like that in another video. I just kind of wanted to do an update about how I'm doing. And they took blood again today. See? They just drew blood like at my last appointment, which was 2 weeks ago. So I didn't think I'd have to do it again today. And they were both surprises. Like, they didn't tell me the week before or whatever that it was going to be happening. And I have a really big phobia of veins. Not necessarily needles. I don't really like needles either, but veins freak me out. Like, I don't like seeing them. When I was younger, I wasn't able to touch my wrists because my skin is very, very white, and you can see my veins really easily through my skin. And yeah, so getting blood drawn like freaks me out just the thought of it. I don't like thinking about it. Even like getting my blood pressure taken freaks me out because like pulses bother me too. So like I can handle shots okay because that doesn't really have anything to do with my veins, but blood being drawn, I hate it. And I've always had Mike there with me to like try to help me calm down. Except for these last 2 appointments, which are the 2 appointments that they drew blood. And so, at the first one, the nurse was like, "Daijoubu?" And I'm like, I hesitated because I don't know how to say, like, I have a phobia in Japanese. So I was just like, "Kawaii," which means scary. And so, she let me lie down on a bed instead, which is what they do for me in America, because I always warn nurses that I have a phobia, and then they let me lie down, and then they're very gentle, and they don't let me see the needle and all that kind of stuff. So this time, again, like they were gonna just have me like sit in a chair and like put up my arm, but I just looked at her and I was like, "I'm really afraid of needles," and I just kind of hoped that she would know what I was saying, because I don't know how to say, I don't know how to say needle in Japanese, I guess. I probably used to, but I can't remember. But she knew what I was saying, and she let me go into the other room and lie down, and it turned out fine. But I still have a bruise from the last one, because I bruise too easily, and then they last forever. It's really annoying. Stupid blood drawing. So, okay, I think that's really it. I will make another video soonish. Bye. Also, if you guys have any specific questions about pregnancy in Japan, feel free to ask me, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. And this is my first baby, and so obviously I'm not going to know everything, but I'll try my best to answer any questions you might have about that. Okay.